3, 2, 1. All right, welcome to another episode of BS with CSR. We've been away for a while. Shane's been busy. I've been busy. I got robbed. That's a whole nother story. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot to talk about. I mean, we got wrestling. We got Making a Murderer. We got movies. We got UFC. It's Summer Slam weekend. I mean, Shane, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
Lots of stuff, and I don't know if we're going to go this way or right off bat, but you said you were robbed. Well, was Eva Marie robbed? We're kind of hearing a lot of controversy about her right now.
You know what? First of all, that guy she's married to is the biggest douchebag on the planet.
Oh, I agree. He's a total doucher. But, again, it's interesting. I mean, I know our boy Justin LaBar, he came out and he didn't quite say everything, but he was basically saying there is something to this. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, I mean, we know from past, even though he wound up doing something to his wife and getting, like, Adam Rose was suspended because of Adderall. So it's not always like freaking –
it's always weed or cocaine or steroids
or coke or something like that. I mean, sometimes it's you actually took something that to you and I or to people watching this or normal people is not something bad, but it flags on this wellness policy. And if you ever watch Total Divas with much of a freaking workout fiend and, protein powder, I'm sure that guy eats 17 different kinds of protein powder a day.
Probably so.
I mean, if you want to tie it into John Jones, they said this week that John Jones unknowingly took those estrogen blockers. I mean, it could be something like that with Eva Marie. There could be something because this workout fiend husband of hers takes, and she had no idea. But I'll tell you what I do want to happen, and I don't think this will happen, but I would absolutely love it if it did. The 6-woman tag match that Eva Marie was supposed to be in is still scheduled on the SummerSlam schedule as of right now. And on the WWE website, they say something to the effect of, will Alexa Bliss and Talia just fight, 2-on-3, or will they find a partner? I think it would be absolute gold if, even though she's not there, and I know WWE won't do this because this is not how they handle suspensions, but even if they weren't there, they still hit her music. They still have that announcer. And then just like on SmackDown this week when he did the traffic bit, he's like, and she won't be here because she's suspended for the next 30 days. But she'll be happy to see you in a month.
Well, first of all, that was glorious on SmackDown when they had the traffic accident. That was
amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
Amazing.
I mean, I've loved that just because. And I mean, again, I'm not an Eva Marie fan, but I mean, I like it because it's creative, and I admire anything that's creative like that, and that has been, and it's been awesome. And you want to hate her even more, which is exactly what they're trying to.
You know what? It makes me love her even more. Like it's turned me into a gigantic Eva Marie fan.
Are you going all red? Everything? Are you getting red hair next? I mean, what are you going with?
I'll just tell you this: if I go all red everything, I'm going all red everything.
Well, that's just entirely gross, but
and I mean everything.
Look, we could talk about your red crotch beard another time, but
I didn't say that.
You
went there.
Hey, you went there. You just didn't say it. But anyways, I'm just saying this. If they did that at SummerSlam, that would be fantastic. But but they do acknowledge this more now with suspensions. They brought the Roman Reigns thing. Seth Rollins talked about it, week after week. That was a big part of the whole triple threat match. I mean, they had no other choice for that.
That's kind of gives me hope that they might acknowledge it. Honestly, I don't think they'll do it at SummerSlam, but I hope they do something on SmackDown at least.
Right. Well, even this deal with ESPN they got now. ESPN is like, they're covering WWE now. So they have a WWE like ESPN site,
which is so insane to me.
Oh, I know. It's weird to see. I mean, I follow it. It's still, crazy to see. But like, they're even saying, they're the ones that has all this news coming out. Eva Marie is suspended. So again, I'm like you. I don't think they're going to do it. But man, that would be fantastic if they did. I mean, that brings realism into storylines, which is what they desperately need right now.
It absolutely does. All right. Well, Eva Marie wasn't the only person suspended.
Nope.
Because it started with Alberto Del Rio getting suspended on his girlfriend's birthday. Well, a couple hours later, Paige got suspended too. Now, this one I gotta think this one is not some kind of supplement or some kind of steroid or performance. This one tends to, with both of them, this one just, the Vegas incident back in July or back in June. This, I wouldn't be shocked to see if this was weed, coke, something like that.
Well, Alberto's getting his party on here. Alberto, I didn't realize he was 39 years old. Paige is 24. And you could tell Paige is just a party animal. This chick has got money now. She's got fame. And, now she's got her, Latino older guy boyfriend here. And I can see, look, Del Rio went and got a tattoo, for goodness sakes. He got another tattoo on his ribs. They both got, tattoos together. These two are partying up somewhere. And, they just, a couple shots of tequila, probably some, a couple other things. So I'm just saying this just seems like it was too coincidental here. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, my question with this is, to me, I pretty much think Alberto's probably gone at the end of his contract.
Oh, yeah.
But the question I have now is, what does this mean for Paige? Because Paige honestly, Paige should be right in the thick having matches with Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, all these guys, but she's not. And she's gone so downhill since she debuted. Does Paige come back for this, or do we see Paige in Lucha Underground or TNA or something here soon?
Well, let me say, if you had Del Rio and Paige in Lucha Underground, that would be incredible.
First of all, I don't think they go to Lucha Underground. I know you hate them, but they're going to TNA if they go to.
Well, again, TNA would sign me and you right now.
That is false. And right there, you need to stop hating on TNA because they're turning the corner, my friend.
Hey, again, you're the one who watches TNA. There's enough wrestling going on right now. I can't even focus on TNA. But anyway, that's.
I got 3 words for you: broken Matt Hardy.
Which I will give you. It's entertaining. I still try to watch videos on YouTube and all this stuff like that. I mean, he built that space. So.
Which I'm DVRing it right now. I'm not watching it because we're recording. But apparently tonight we get broken Jeff Hardy. Or I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Broken Brother Nero.
Yes. Excuse me, broken Matt Hardy. If you see this, broken Brother Nero.
He will delete you. Don't question.
I hope he doesn't delete me. But so it's just, this whole deal, and it's very odd timing with that.
Well, Del Rio, I think, is gone though.
Del Rio's gone, and I think there's an outside chance Paige is. I don't think it's a certainty with Paige because she is 24. Mm-hmm. She does have a lot of upside for WWE for the next 10 years, and if she gets her head back on the straight, she could plug right back into top diva storylines. But you can't say it's a certainty because she's with Del Rio, and if Del Rio goes, if this relationship's really tight, there's a chance Paige is gone.
Oh yeah, well, WWE's always tried. They're already trying to break this relationship up. Why they don't like it, I don't know. One's on one show, the one's on another show. So, but
I don't think that Vince McMahon likes race mixing.
Oh. So Vince McMahon's a racist, I guess. I don't know. What's surprising?
The only black world champion he's had is The Rock, and The Rock's not really black. And most people don't consider him black.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know, but
he's The Rock. He's he's kind of like OJ. I'm not black. I'm OJ. He's not black. He's The Rock.
That's a good call. I like that. But Paige, you could arguably say she started the whole women's revolution.
She did.
She came in.
No argument. She did.
Yeah, she was that first NXT takeover, and her and Emma put on that awesome match, and then she comes in and wins the Divas title right after WrestleMania 30. So yeah, I still think there's a shot for her. Yeah. So there's still a shot for her. Del Rio, though. It's amazing this guy has not worked out in WWE. He's had all the look, the talent. It's WWE's fault. But
I'm glad you brought that up because he didn't work out this second round because they changed his damn gimmick.
Yeah.
They brought him in with Zeb Coulter randomly for some Mexican America alliance that just was awful. If they would have brought this guy, if they would have done the same exact damn thing, they could have had him come in, beat Cena. But if they would have brought him back, they didn't even have to do Ricardo Rodriguez, although that would have been great.
Yes.
If they just would have brought him back with the rich Mexican gimmick, he would have done a lot better this round. Nobody gave a crap because he came back trying to be the whatever he is, and it sucked ever since.
Yeah, he basically needed to be like a Mexican $1 million man. That would have been awesome.
That's what he was the first time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, bring that back. I'm like
that's
you.
What I'm saying. He had to. They needed to just. Hey, no new gimmick, no whatever. Alberto Del Rio's back. Bring out the car, the scarf, all that crap. It should have been the same stuff, and it would have gone a lot better. But no, they changed him up, and it blew up in their face. And then they put him with the League of Losers, and
oh, yeah, it was terrible.
And now he's banging Paige, and they're banging each other on suspension.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't had a show in a while, and Shane, we're a month into the new brand split. A month in. And I don't hate it, but it hasn't really been great so far, I would say. I mean, Raw, the first 2 Raws were good.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 have been absolutely freaking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Monday night was, hard to get through.
Yeah.
There's bright spots. I mean, I know that Roman is still – I like what they're doing with Roman and Rusev. I will say that I thought most people hated the fact that the Demon King showed up. I didn't mind that. I mean, I don't think he needs to show up on Raw on a regular basis, but I thought it was good because I don't give a damn what the internet people say. Half the people that watch Raw don't have a clue who Finn Balor is.
Yeah.
But it's just – Raw was brutal with the complete roster for 3 hours. It's even more brutal now that they've split the rosters.
Mm-hmm.
I was really excited about Corey Graves, but they've put such a. I feel like they put such a filter on Corey Graves. He's not the Corey Graves he was in NXT on commentary. Yeah. You got any thoughts on Raw?
Raw. Again, like you said, it's for 3 hours. That show was a chore to watch anyways. So now, you stretch that roster thin now. You're like, golly. Now granted, I got to be honest with you, though. I don't hate these squash matches with the.
I don't either. That doesn't bother me. I think I actually like that. That kind of brings you back to old school Raw. Where
very much, yeah.
Now, I will say that I don't know how much longer they need to go on. They need to start Braun and Nia, even if it's the Heath Slaters and the Zack Ryders of the world, or for Nia, I don't know. I don't even know the women that are on the Raw roster, honestly. I think they need to start moving into competition, but no, I actually like that. And I think it gives, especially in Braun Strowman's case, it gives Braun Strowman that really. It lets him look like a real monster. Whereas if you put him in against a, Gold Dust or something like that, so that he's somebody on the Raw roster, Braun's going to look like he can't wrestle again.
Yeah, the best thing is you get to see who these people really are. You look forward to some of these moves. Like, I don't think Braun's reverse neck choke slam, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, but it's still one thing you kind of, in a way, look forward to in a match. You want to see this guy destroy people. So again, you're kind of getting to know what little of their dominating characters they are. So again, I know some people complain about them, but that to me is a one bright side of Raw, I guess, that the squash match is there. But yeah, it's going to take time for both of these rosters because they're trying to establish these, these newer superstars. And, hopefully anyways, and of course, eventually we're going to get the Cruiserweight title on Raw. Raw's already got the tag titles. SmackDown's about to get their new titles sometime eventually. So it's just going to take time to make these other superstars look credible. So again, I don't hate it, but it's just tough to watch right now. That and there's just so much wrestling to consume right now.
One thing I want to talk about real quick when you mentioned titles. Everybody says the SmackDown roster sucks compared to the Raw roster. Yes, Charlotte and Sasha and Dana Brooke are on Raw. Yeah, I know you love Dana Brooke.
Of course, yes.
Nia Jax's on there, but I'd take I would I don't like the fact that they're split. I will say that. But if you're giving me the two rosters, I take the SmackDown women over the Raw women. It's more balanced, top to bottom.
I'd have to look at those. I kind of see what you're saying, though. Yeah.
And I do the same damn thing in the tag division because you've got Gallows and Anderson, Enzo and Cass, freaking the New Day, and then you've got Goldust and R-Truth. I mean, granted, they're NXT teams. They're not great, but you've got American Alpha, who obviously the WWE's got their head so far up their ass right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Usos coming back, who, yeah, they're the Usos, but they're still a really good tag team.
They are.
The Vaudevillains, I think, are good, even though they kind of buried in the last couple of months. You know, they need to try to rebuild the Ascension. Enzo and Cass, Mojo and Zack Ryder are there, but they're there. And then you got, I'll tell you, the tag team I like the most right now in SmackDown is freaking Tyler Breeze and Fandango.
They actually are pretty entertaining.
I like that. Yeah, they are. So, and I'll tell you the one thing that I mean, and we talked about this off air, but one of the things I really dig about SmackDown is I like talking smack is because it gives Daniel Bryan, it's almost like they've given Daniel Bryan a chance to kind of shoot or kind of, yes, it's kayfabe shoots or it's obviously it's all cleared, but you know, him and Shane take constant shots at the Universal title, which I think is great.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel took a shot. I mean, he mentioned how, the Raw is just creating titles left and right. Like they came out the first night and they created a title. We're going to build a division, then we're going to create a title, which my guess is they will probably determine a women's champion and a tag team champion on Backlash, their pay-per-view in September. That'd be my guess. Right. And then, he took a shot at John Cena when John Cena cut that promo about how AJ was here and here and here. I've been here. This is the only place I want to be. He took a shot at John because Daniel Bryan was the same way. So, I mean, and the bottom line is you mentioned it off top. SmackDown's doing different stuff. I mean, the Eva Marie thing is something different, something they haven't done and it makes SmackDown more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
SmackDown's just, I mean, maybe on paper you put the two rosters together, SmackDown or Raw's still a better roster, but SmackDown's a much better show.
Well, again, it's just, if nothing, just for the 2 hours, man, it's just a lot easier to watch. It's just a way easier watch. I mean, there's not as much just filler bull crap in there. I think they do a better job of getting their point across on the show, with their superstars, and you don't have to worry about, anyone doing a 30-minute promo to start off the show. I mean, again, and as, I'm sure we're going to get into this later, but, even just I'm not saying it's a great storyline, but I do think some stuff that Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler have done have been really good. Their promos have been really good together.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a really good job. The problem with that storyline, and we will get into it here in a little bit, is just nobody gives a crap about Dolph anymore.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's the big problem with it, but they're doing great stuff. I thought the promo Dolph cut on Tuesday was great.
Yeah, but the point of that is, I think at least creativity-wise, I think SmackDown has been doing better.
I agree, 100%. I feel like I almost feel like Vince is still running Raw and somebody else is running SmackDown.
Yeah.
All right, let's break away from wrestling for a minute. We're going to get back into it after the close of the show because obviously we know it's SummerSlam weekend. We got to talk some NXT TakeOver. We got to talk SummerSlam. But you and I both were big Making a Murderer fans.
Oh, yes.
Back in the winter, we were doing shows and we got into it and we both cruised through it really quickly. Well, big news on the Making Murderer front this past week because and I was floored. I think on Twitter my tweet was, "Holy shit!" Because it shocked me that much. Brendan Dassey, it might be set free in 90 days. And if you don't know who Brendan Dassey is, everybody knows the name Stephen Avery. Brendan Dassey is his nephew that supposedly was an accomplice and supposedly helped him possibly rape and murder this Teresa Hallback chick. But if you watch the show, it was, and yes, get this right off the top, yes, it was filmed from a very slanted view. They
Yes.
wanted to make you think Stephen Avery was innocent, but I don't give a crap about that. It was obvious to anybody who watched the show that Brendan Dassey is, I don't want to use the term retarded, but he is definitely mentally slow.
Mm-hmm.
And that police department knew that and took advantage of it and freaking basically coerced him into whatever they needed him to say. Because they showed you, it wasn't like, oh, people talking. They showed you video of the police and the attorney that was sent there, and it was obvious. They were telling him what to say, and he wasn't smart enough to realize that was going on.
That was the most clear thing in that entire show.
Exactly.
I mean, that by far. I mean, there was other questionable things, and we read things later on, but by far, anyone watching that could have saw that. And they did it several times, too. I mean, even later on, in that. So, I mean, that like you said, that kid has some definite, mental issues, something going on, but
he's definitely slow. I mean, he definitely has well, okay. I'll put it this way because he definitely has learning disabilities.
Yes.
But the fact that, here's where I'm at with this because, I mean, who knows if he was really involved, but what does this mean for Stephen Avery? Because Stephen Avery is supposedly still fighting, and I'm sorry, if this goes through, this is I'm not saying it for sure will get Stephen out, but this is a gigantic chip for Stephen to play. Like, hey, here you go. The federal judge in Wisconsin or wherever overturned Brendan's case. That proves that they freaking screwed with us. I mean, I think now that there's a chance that Stephen could get out again.
Well, I don't remember where I saw this at, but, as soon as that news hit the other day, I could have swore someone on my Twitter retweeted this. It said, Stephen Avery, his lawyers say, he's next and it's going to be happening soon. Again, I don't know if that was true or not, but I mean, to me, if anything, how incredible does that show just the power of just a Netflix documentary show is? How popular does it show how Netflix is, for one, and how popular just this show is? I mean, like me and you, I remember me and you texting about it, and you're like, dude, get to episode 4, get to episode 5. I mean, that's how just engaging this show was. Absolutely. And how big of an impact it's made already. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
And then my other thing is, I mean, if that local government in Wisconsin, I don't remember, it's that county or whatever, if they already got headlines a long time ago for the Stephen Avery case. If Stephen Avery gets out again and Brendan Dassey gets out again, I mean, if you work for the government in that county, if you work for the police or the prosecutor's office or the DA in that county in Wisconsin, can you ever show your face again?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, you got to figure they're going to try to just wipe everybody out in that county. I mean, I would think they have to. Like, I mean, wide everybody goes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Prosecutors, police, DA, whatever. They all go start over, bring in a whole new staff.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know how anyone at that point, how anyone could even feel safe in that county. I mean, how could you even feel safe if you want to go out of your house? I mean, in fear that you were going to get set up and coerced and doing something. So it'll be interesting. This isn't over yet, and I'm already pumped for season 2 that they're talking about. I mean, in the end, they were talking about season 2 before this Brendan Dassey stuff came out.
Well, what I'm wondering, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
They knew this. This has to be what season 2 is about.
Yeah. I hope
they were. Maybe they didn't know Brendan was going to get out when they announced it, but they were. This is about Brendan's case and Brendan trying to get out, and season 2 will probably end with this ruling, I would guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
then season 3 will be when Stephen gets out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, crazy stuff. I mean, I can't express in words how shocked I was when I saw that, because I mean, you watched this show and you thought, man, it's so sketchy, but you just thought, okay, well, this is done. They're both spending their life in prison. Nope, Brendan's out.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, maybe Vince will send him to WrestleMania since he missed WrestleMania. He couldn't watch WrestleMania in prison.
The greatest thing ever is if this kid somehow gets at WrestleMania. I mean, again, think of the numbers that WWE could get off this. Yeah, seriously, I mean, the numbers would be insane. I do this now. I mean, I know it's like it's tongue-in-cheek stuff here, but they need to do that. So that line in the midst of saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna be able to watch WrestleMania." At that point, I almost felt a little bad about being a wrestling fan as well.
Right, exactly. All right. Well, there's a big movie out that we've both seen, and it's kind of controversial. I mean, if you're a movie critic, apparently Suicide Squad is going to be the death of the DC universe, which I got to be honest, I don't know a damn thing about Suicide Squad. I'd heard the name Harley Quinn. Obviously, the Joker was in there for a little bit, but it's Deadshot, Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang. Couldn't have told you who the hell any of these people were beforehand. Mm-hmm. I thought this movie was good, and I will tell you this right off the bat. And if anybody that knows me knows I kind of like crazy chicks. I'm kind of attracted to crazy chicks, and Margot Robbie was amazing.
Yeah, that was her movie, absolutely, 100%.
Amazing. And I think that they need to, if they do a Batman movie, which they're going, not if they are doing a Batman movie. Mm-hmm. If I was doing it, the Joker and Harley Quinn would be in it. And I think there needs to be a Harley Quinn solo movie. Margot Robbie was that good in this movie.
Of course, there's been talk about that. I don't know if it's going to come to fruition or not, but I can very much, I saw a tweet right after Suicide Squad that said, what Ledger did for the Joker, Robbie did for Harley Quinn. And I absolutely agree with that. She, as soon as she was cast for that, I was like, wow, that's a perfect casting. And
she stole the movie. I mean, she was by far the best in the movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's, speaking especially from a character that came from the animated TV series, that's where that character came up from.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and and she just, I mean, she nailed it. It's never been, it's been in video games and other stuff like that. But I mean, granted, I'm a DC guy, so there's things I liked about this movie, and there's things that especially the spoiler alert, but the Batman scenes, especially the one with Deadshot in the alley. I thought that was incredible looking. Critics bash this way too hard, I think. And I agree. I think it's that way just because it's got the DC logo on it now. I mean, DC does not have a good history, honestly. I mean, Green Lantern was terrible. Batman Superman also didn't do very good. And then there's past.
But I like Batman versus Superman.
I like it to a degree. There's basically, to me, what DC movies are now, they're highlight videos.
I'll tell you this. I'll put it right out there right now. Out of the 3 DC movies that have came out recently, Superman, Batman vs. Superman, and Suicide Squad, that Superman's the worst out of the 3.
Wow. See, we're going total opposite now. I think that Superman is the best one out of the 3.
It's the worst out of the 3.
Wow. Yeah, we're totally. See, I thought that was really good.
And I'll even go. Suicide Squad might be the best.
I can't. It's my second one, I think. It's just, man, the villain was just so bad in that movie.
I agree with you there.
But I mean, like I was saying though, the DC movies, especially Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad, they are good highlight videos for the things you want to see, like those moments. Like if you're a DC comic book nerd like I am, seeing some of those moments of Batman and Superman together, that was awesome. Or seeing like Harley Quinn on screen with Deadshot and fighting Batman, her and the Joker, in a chase scene. Those are awesome moments, But overall, I mean, I like the movie. I won't say I love it. I'll be buying it, of course, because I do like everyone. But I just think it got too harsh of a critic rating. I thought. I mean, way too harsh. And they compare it to Marvel too much, man. I love Marvel movies, but Marvel's just ruined the comic book, movie world right now. You can't touch them.
See, but I mean, I agree Marvels are better, but I like the way they shoot the DC movies better than the Marvel ones because they kind of shoot it in a way that's a little more realistic. I do
like that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The problem I have with DC is they use way too much. The CGI looks horrible.
Oh yes. I mean, especially coming from. Now I will say this: DC has arguably the best of the movies, like the trilogy-wise, with the Dark Knight trilogy. That was, I mean.
Yeah, but I almost don't even consider that a DC movie, man. You know, I mean, I know it is. It is. But I almost don't even consider that like a comic book movie. Those are almost standalone for me.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, you know, to me, you know, and this would be a total topic for another time, but, you know, Christopher Nolan changed the way, you know, people look at movies like that now. Dark Knight to me is one of my favorite movies ever. So, but I see what you're saying, how it doesn't really, I mean, obviously it doesn't connect to this universe anyway, but I don't know. Again, that was the more realistic tone, I think, and they're trying to incorporate that still, but they're still using CGI too, and it doesn't work. So
I will say this: I think Ben Affleck is great as Batman.
Yes, and that was the thing I was worried about the most when they cast him.
I think he's great at it. I thought you mentioned it. I thought, you know, he only had a couple of scenes, but I thought he did the scenes he really. I mean, I love the fact that he was in it and not some random ass Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought Margot Robbie was great. I thought Will Smith was great as Deadshot. I mean, I don't know if that character is good enough to carry his own movie, but I do think that if they do another Suicide Squad, I'm down in that.
Yeah. Well, what you say, I don't know. To me, that was the best I saw Will Smith in a long time, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he hadn't done anything worth the crap in a long time.
No,
I mean,
that was it. I don't know.
I mean, in that kind of movie, I thought he was really good. I don't know if you saw Concussion. I thought he was really good in that.
I didn't get to see it. Yeah, I plan on renting that sometime.
But as far as an action hero style movie, it was the best he's been in a long time.
Well, that was to me, that was like old Will Smith from like summer blockbusters. You know, that was you know the best I had seen him in a long time. So to me, he wasn't the Deadshot that I've read in comics and stuff before, but he was a good Deadshot.
I will say that the one thing, and we'll move on to another topic here shortly, but that scene where he jumps up on top of the car and just mows down those freaking, it's badass, man, and everybody's just like, damn.
yeah. He was very entertaining. Him and Margot Robbie by far, and you know, I do like Leto's Joker to a degree. It's just we didn't get enough of him.
And I would like to see Leto come back in the Batman movie. That's kind of why I would like to see Joker and Harley in the Batman movie, because I would like. Although the only thing that makes me scared is if they do that, then we're probably going to see freaking Batgirl.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't think they would do it, but I mean, I don't know. It just depends. So there's some interesting ways they could go with that.
But yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see Leto some more. I would have liked. I agree with you on the villain. I guess it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you, because I really felt like, I mean, the whole premise of this movie, which is why I think we probably will see another one, was to really, I mean, introduce everybody to these characters, because they don't, you know, everybody knows, if you follow comic books for the most part, you know Thor, you know Captain America. I mean, I don't even follow comic books, and I know all those characters.
Yeah.
But you don't know the Suicide Squad characters.
Now, I mean, but
unless you are and no offense to anybody out there, unless you are a super comic book nerd, you don't know these characters. If you're just somebody like me that likes comic book style movies and hero movies, you don't know those characters.
Yeah, that's why to me, and I don't know if you saw this, you know, as bad as it got, you know, critically reviewed, this movie is like made over $500 million. I think that's still number one.
Which is why they're going to make another one.
Well, yeah, they promote it well. One, they had the most popular of all the people in it. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. At least people knew of her because she was associated with Joker. And two, they had the Joker in it. And three, Will Smith was in it. I mean, to me, that's why this movie's doing so well.
Yeah, which is smart casting them from as far as DC goes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Possibly my favorite pro athlete is competing again Saturday. I absolutely love Conor McGregor so much. He entertains me. I don't give a damn that he lost his last fight. He's still entertaining as hell. I love the fact that he called all the WWE guys pussies. Because it truly shows just how insecure the wrestling industry is, because all of them started talking again, and he did it on purpose. But we got a big UFC fight Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2. I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be like, I mean, if Conor watches, you got my $50-$60.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else in the UFC right now anymore, since Ronda Rousey. Who knows who the hell, if she's ever coming back. But I mean, but if Conor fights, you've got my money. I will say this though. I think Conor. I'm not going to say has to. I think Conor needs to win this match, or else he might take a real step down if he loses 2 in a row to Diaz.
Absolutely does, especially since, the reason why I even think he kind of started some of this, talking crap with about the WWE, which again, it was actually entertaining. And if you've kept up with Conor at all, that's Conor McGregor.
That's what he does.
Yeah, that's him. That's why it didn't upset me. I mean, I saw people getting butthurt about it, but things kind of backfired for him. When he tried to pull this whole retirement angle, and he's like, "Hey, I'm retiring," and his plan basically didn't work out. Dana White put a stop to that, and he's like, "No."
Real quick before you said that, they do a UFC does a show on YouTube called UFC Embedded, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to get this across because I thought this was absolutely incredible. On that show, they had some of their guys stating that tweet, that retirement tweet, based on views and just how whatever the algorithms that Twitter uses to was the biggest tweet by an athlete this year, bigger than Kobe Bryant announcing his freaking retirement from the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Shows you the impact of Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, heck, I retweeted it, because I thought it was a joke. I didn't know what it was. So yeah, it shows how much stroke he has in the sporting entertainment world for sure. It's just obviously it's just things didn't go his way with that, and Dana put a stop to all that stuff. So I don't know. It's like Conor's almost, especially after losing, he to Nate last time, he's got a little bit of an uphill battle here. And like you said, if he doesn't win this one, I am worried about it, because how much stroke and how much drawing power is he still going to have, I
mean, he's still going to be a draw for MMA people, because he knows how to sell a fight. He's like Chael Sonnen. I mean, he essentially is Chael Sonnen to me. If you followed MMA, Chael Sonnen called out Anderson Silva for years, almost beat him, called him out again, got beaten 2 rounds, then called out John Jones, coming off a loss, and got a title fight with John Jones because he worked it like Conor McGregor does. In MMA, you can. So I mean, he's always going to be a draw for MMA people. But where I think the difference is if he loses 2 straight, he's not a draw for non-hardcore MMA fans. He's not that mainstream draw that he's been for the last year to year and a half, because when you lose 2 straight, that shines off.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, like you said, this guy can work his way into a fight, any fight, just by throwing bottles and cans at people like he did in the press conference with Diaz, which was totally ridiculous. But man, it was entertaining though. I went back and watched some of it. It was darn entertaining.
I don't think he's going to lose. I think he's going to beat him. Really?
See, I'm picking Diaz again. Even though Diaz is a person who can barely speak words half the time, and I absolutely dread hearing that post-fight, interview. I mean, oh my God, it's terrible. I mean, that dude. Brendan Dassey may be more intelligent than Nate Diaz at times. Or
you're gonna get a Stockton slap. All right, let's close it down. Let's get back into wrestling. We got to talk. Okay, Summer Slam weekend, huge weekend, lots of stuff going on. I mean, every major show now, they got a NXT TakeOver back to Brooklyn. I'm not as excited about it as I was last year. I will say that I think Joe versus Nakamura is going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, they're going to beat the crap out of each other. I mean, they are going to. That's going to be almost like a little bit of a shoot. So
let me ask you this real quick, because I got to ask you, I know, and I haven't watched much lately, but have you watched No Way Jose?
I've only saw like maybe one match of his. Again,
I liked it. I gotta say, I like No Way. The dancing, I don't know. I like it.
That doesn't surprise me that you would like something like that. That seems like a very Blake Mitchell Moore type character to like. So I'm not surprised with that in the least bit. But in my defense, I haven't watched a lot of him, so he may be one of those that would actually like grow on me the more I watch. But I remember seeing him the first time, I was like, what is this? But I've heard he's over decently well. So with the NXT crowd at least. So I forget who he's facing at TakeOver. So I don't.
Austin Aries.
Okay. But yeah, man, I know what you're talking about as far as not being as hot for this one. Well, basically because the NXT roster is totally rebuilt now, or still rebuilding. Even ticket prices are showing that too. I saw it today.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I saw it today. I think they said the highest ticket price, or I'm sorry, the even for an upper deck last year, they were going for like $110, $120, or like it's $71 now, or something like that. And I don't. Are they sold out? I don't know. I didn't read that part. I don't know if they're sold out or not.
I think they still, I think they are, but I think it was one of those deals they sold out, kind of like all the major events they sell out as soon as they sell them, though.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be good. I think I'm interested. I'm very interested to see Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a fantastic theme song.
yeah, he does. It's glorious.
Yes, it is. I think Asuka versus Bayley is going to be great. I don't think it's going to be Bayley versus Charlotte last year, but I think it's going to be great. I expect Asuka to win because I expect Bayley to debut Monday night for good.
Yeah, I think they've got to with that.
I'm torn on Joe versus Nakamura.
I am too.
I want to see Nakamura win, but I feel like Joe needs to win.
I do too.
I'll tell you this, and here's why. Because Joe's starting to talk about it. If they build Joe right, I'm interested in Joe versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, of course. That's one of the first things I want to see as soon as Joe came in to WWE. I'm like, those two would just absolutely kill each other, and it would be darn entertaining to watch. Question is, I guess, do you want to bring him in now, or would it'd be awesome if Joe could cost Lesnar the match against Orton on Sunday. That'd be pretty entertaining. But
that would be. That would be cool. But then I don't know if you could do that. But and then unless you're gonna have Joe. But see, Lesnar's going away. So
yeah.
I almost think if you were to do it, you debut Joe on Monday and you have Joe run through people for months and make him look like a badass.
Yeah.
And then Lesnar comes in. But I'm torn. My personal opinion, I think I would probably have, even if it's, some kind of fugazi way or some kind of shady way, I'd have Joe win or walk out with the title. My guess is Nakamura walks out with the title.
Yeah, for the most part, NXT, especially their big shows like that, they're somewhat predictable.
I would be shut. And one of the main reasons is I think Nakamura wins because I'm going to be truly shocked if Bayley wins the NXT Women's title.
Oh yeah, that'll be super surprising. It'd be interesting.
Based on what you just said, I think with a big show, you got to have one title change, and to me, it's got to be Nakamura because it ain't going to be Asuka.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I worry about, like you said, I think Joe needs to win because, Joe's only had this title for a little while, and him and Finn had a million matches, and Finn had the better of him for most of them, and it took forever for, Joe to win. So I think Joe needs to win this, and I wouldn't mind a screwy finish here if Nakamura didn't win because I think Nakamura is going to be that flag bearer for NXT for at least the Rumble, I would say. Maybe
my guess is Nakamura comes up the Monday after WrestleMania next year.
That's probably true. Yeah.
All right, let's get into SummerSlam. We'll talk some stuff. We'll do a few. We're not predicting 11 matches. That's too much.
No.
Let's see. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Don't care.
Too many matches after they've already hit 2.
Steve a tag match. Don't care since Eva Marie's not in there.
Yeah.
Apollo Creed versus The Miz. Don't really care.
Don't mind the match, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Okay, we'll start with this one. Is there any way Charlotte wins the title back from Sasha Sunday?
I don't think so. It would be pretty interesting, though. I think that would be a nice way to do that. I mean, I like the – they've done this before with matches. As soon as they ban somebody from ringside, who else comes in to help Charlotte win? They've done that before with other matches, so who else may come in to,
Ric Flair comes back.
Maybe Ric Flair does come back. It'd be interesting.
New Day versus the Club, I think, or versus Gallows and Anderson. I guess they're technically not the Club anymore. I think Gallows and Anderson New Day's. I mean, I'm sorry. I know New Day's stale to me.
They've kind of grown stale, and even though they are stale, they don't even need the titles anymore. I think Gallows and Anderson need these titles now. I agree. They need them. They need them badly.
Enzo and Cass versus Jericho and Owens. This screams Jericho and Owens. You see pictures of Owens with Cass and Enzo. If you listen to Enzo and Cass on the Steve Austin podcast, they used to ride together. This screams to me of two guys that want to put Enzo and Cass over in New York and make them look like a big-time tag team. So I got to think Enzo and Cass are going to go over in their hometown. I'm
actually picking Jericho and KO.
Really?
So, yeah. I can just see that not going, Enzo and Cass's way.
Roman versus Rusev. I'm going to put it out there right now. I think Roman's probably going to win, but Rusev needs to win this damn match.
Yeah.
If Roman wins, it does absolutely nothing for either guy. Roman being the U.S. champion doesn't do anything for him.
No.
It doesn't do anything for Rusev. If Rusev wins, it does not hurt Roman, but it makes Rusev look like a main eventer.
Yeah. This is a good Rusev for once. I like this Rusev.
Oh, it's a great Rusev.
Yeah, and I'm like you. I think Rusev needs the win here, but it would be interesting if Roman did. I've always said Roman needed one of those secondary titles to, be established a little bit more as a face.
So, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, but if it was me, I'm booking
Rusev too.
Because, I mean, here's my thing, and we'll get into it in a minute. Let's say Finn wins and he's a babyface. You need heels for him to fight, and Rusev is a great one.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that one here in a second. Dean versus Dolph. I don't think there's any way Dolph wins.
There's no way. I will be interested to see what this whole Bray Wyatt. There's going to be something involved with Bray in this match too. I mean,
I agree with that.
There's going to be.
Seth versus Finn. I'm going to be real honest with you. And it's probably going to get me some crap. I don't think Finn Balor needs to win this match.
I don't think he does either.
This is too fast for Finn Balor on the main roster. I don't like the fact that he's been – I mean, I don't think he should not be a main eventer eventually. I don't think he should be in the mid-card. I'm not saying that, so let's just calm down. But I don't like, hey, bam. And I go back to this Raw audience of 3 million people, only 1 million people watch the network. 4 weeks is not enough time for people to buy in and really buy into Finn Balor. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He needs to chase somebody for a while, keep telling us who he is, keep showing us who he is, and then eventually let him win this weird-ass Universal Championship.
Yeah, even though I thought that was a really good Raw where he, became the number one contender.
It was a really good Raw.
Yeah, it was a really good Raw. I'm kind of in favor with you there. I do think he needs more time, even though I think this match will be probably, fantastic.
I think, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, to me, this is Rollins all the way. I don't think there should ever be any question. To me, anyway, it should be all Rollins. Rollins should be taking this title.
Last match on the card. I forgot about one. AJ Styles versus John Cena. To me, hands down, AJ Styles has to win this match clean in the middle of the ring.
This is one of those matches I would be absolutely shocked if Styles did not win, because Cena's even saying, hey, I'm a part-time guy now, basically. He's not even going to be at their next pay-per-view. So, it's got to be Styles. I would think. Again, I'll be shocked if it's not Styles. I mean, granted.
If Cena wins, that's such a dumb mistake.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
All right, last match of the night, or at least in my opinion, what I think is going to close the show: Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. To me, with everything hanging over Brock's head, Randy Orton needs to win this match. I've changed drastically. When this match was first announced, I thought Randy was going to get squashed John Cena style. Now I think Randy needs to win the match.
I will say I liked it how they sort of built this with the whole. Granted, I hate the whole Viperville bullcrap that they pulled with this,
yeah,
but I do like how they've built up the RKO even more. Though they're like, hey, anything can happen. So if I hit it, it's over. So I like that. I can't see. I mean, to me, Lesnar's like he's like Alabama. I'm not going to believe anybody can beat him. I'm just until he actually loses. So.
What do you think closes the show?
I want to say that match. I'm actually thinking it's Rollins and Finn. I think anyway. I don't know that for sure. There's a couple. I'm even thinking Styles and Cena could go on last.
See, to me, you have two options. It's Randy versus Brock or Styles versus Cena.
Yeah.
Finn versus Seth. It's a great match, but that is not SummerSlam close.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not. It's just Finn is not there yet. SummerSlam is the second biggest event of the year. Mm-hmm. You're going to tell me Finn could go close WrestleMania right now?
No, not at all.
If it was me, I'll put it this way. I think Randy versus Brock closes the show.
Mm-hmm.
If it was me, I'd close with Styles versus Cena, and I would go off the air of SummerSlam with Styles winning in the middle of the ring, because at that point, AJ Styles is made. He is a world champion caliber person in WWE, could possibly main event a WrestleMania if he has a major win over John Cena in a major event. Mm-hmm. The next month in September, you could easily put that belt on AJ Styles, and nobody says a freaking word.
Yeah, and I like that. I think that would be a really good way to end SummerSlam. I will say this, though. I think it'd be an interesting move if they put it Rollins and Finn, just because, one, they love Rollins. They already, he's the guy. He's the man. And, if you put Rollins and Finn in the main event, is that a way of saying, hey, we have a lot of faith in this Finn guy. We're hoping he's one of our big stars to be. I mean, Rollins is, granted, Rollins not a superstar yet, but Rollins is at least making his name known. His name at least pops up on Facebook.
I think Rollins is a superstar.
No, well, I mean, I guess Cena a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
Well, yeah, but there's only so
many
guys in that company. There's Brock and Cena.
Right, yeah.
Those are the only crossover stars they have.
Yeah. Again, I'm just saying, I wonder if this is like, this is their way of putting faith in them to saying, hey, you guys are closing, this is the second big show of the year, so let's see what you got. Not that they won't tear the house down anyways. So.
Yeah, and that's possible. I don't know. I think that's a lot to put on Finn. To have him close SummerSlam 4 weeks after he moves up the main roster, that's a lot to put on a guy.
Yeah. The only thing is, I know there's no way the WWE title goes on last. I'd be shocked if that happened. Absolutely shocked.
You just ruined my freaking punchline. I was about to say.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I ruin your punchline. So.
Yeah, man. You took my all read everything joke to a creepy level earlier in the show. Now you ruined this one.
And we're back. We're back 100%.
Yeah, we took a few weeks off and we didn't lose the chemistry. You ruined the show every week.
That's my goal every week, every time we do this. So.
Well, that's it for this week. Make sure you're following us on Twitter at BS with CSR, at Shane Shoemaker, I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've done this, at S Shoemaker 24. My Twitter is at Blake Mitchmore. Make sure you're checking out our website, bswithcsr.com. We're gonna do our best to get back to doing this once a week. Going forward, now that I've got a little stable schedule, I'm back in technology after being robbed. Shane is, his shiny bald head is back to normal. he lost the shine on his head for a while, so that was part of the reason why we were gone for a while.
I lost my shine.
Yeah, he lost. It's kind of like losing his smile. He lost the shine on his head.
Exactly. So.
But we're gonna be back doing this more regular. We're still gonna be pumping out blogs every week. Make sure you're checking us out. Thanks for hanging out. We'll talk to you next time.